You good?
Shalom, Israel. Happy Sabbath. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom. I'm Prince Malachi ben Israel, tribe of Judah.
That's right.
And we just coming to y'all brothers and sisters today, man. Hey, thank you, y'all. Hey, thanking everyone for following us, for being with us, man. Hey, a Peculiar Treasure Ministries, along with Restoring the Village Ministries, two brother ministries, man. Hey, that we thank y'all, man, for just being here. We thank y'all, and we thank the Most High God,
right?
Because to bless us to see another Sabbath. Having a celebration of Passover. Now we're in Feast of Unleavened Bread.
That's right. Yes,
and we just thank the Most High God for His mercy and His grace. Right. A new year, and what you think about it, bro? Gad, what you think, man?
Yours will be better than the last.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, trying to overcome a lot of things in our lives, man. Hey,
do some things.
Yeah, man. Hey, but Brother Gad, go ahead, man. Take over, man.
I was just gonna start out with 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10.
All right. The book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
You can also read verse 9 to start out.
Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Here, especially in Babylon, that's the number one thing. We're raised up from the time we're sent to a public school, private school, it don't matter which one, to go get the money, go get the bag. It's all about graduating so you can go to college and get the best degree, to get the most money. Everything in this society, in this realm, is about money and the love of it. All right, but we should love nothing more than pleasing the Most High and having real riches. All right, that it talks about in Colossians 3. And also Sirach 29 and 11. All right, lay up our treasure with the Most High. All right, but we should...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure that everything is functioning properly, and it appears to be.
We can also read Sirach 10 and 9 to go right along with this.
Sirach 10 and 9?
Yes, sir.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha. Chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud?
Right. Why are we so proud? All anybody does on any social media is flex and brag. Why? Go ahead.
There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man.
That's somebody that's wanting something they do not have. And all of us start out in the mud, quote unquote, not having. So we all are raised up to be covetous. They say it's to have ambition. The Bible calls that covetousness, and it's a sin. Go ahead.
For such a one setteth his own soul to sell. Because while he liveth, he cast away his bowels.
He cast away his bowels. In 1 Timothy 6 and 10 it said, many hurtful and foolish lusts that hurt you. And they're foolish to do, just so you can have some money, just for you to not get it by righteous dealing, so the Lord's going to take it away soon regardless. And now you're just going to be violated and vile and broke. But our people don't get that.
Like P. Diddy.
Right, straight up.
Yeah.
Throw his ass in the jail.
Right. Alright, let's see. Now, Psalms 64 and 1. Alright. Because why? Why is things set up like that? Why is it like this? Especially when knowing it's a sin. So why are we all raised up to have sin in our minds like it is a positive thing? Well, we're going to get into that. It's definitely not by accident or coincidence.
Book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 1.
Right.
Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Right. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. I don't know if anybody knows, but a young Scooter from Atlanta just got killed last night by the police.
Yeah.
And it happened to be his 39th birthday as well. I'm sure he was celebrating. And that happened, but still, he was killed by the police last night.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
Right. Hide me from that secret council who look to slay the righteous. Where's that at 90? Psalms 90. Where he shooteth secretly at the righteous.
Could be Psalms 10.
Yeah, or 50 something.
Yeah, I don't see it in Psalms 90.
Yeah. We'll find it later. Just go ahead.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity,
Right.
who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
There you go. Who whet their tongue like a sword. All right. Bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. We can just start out with them issues and Israel. And what they put that bitter words on? Black Hebrew Israelites, when all of that means the same thing. Well, the first one is a negative connotation, and then a Hebrew and the Israelites the same thing. So they got us run around here with these, labeling us with these bitter words. But not only that, anti-Semitic, when we are Semitic. But if we're not with them, then we're anti-us.
Correct. Yeah.
Makes no sense. And they just do that to try to ruin your reputation publicly.
You know, that's what the thing about it, that the scripture said that, hey, we're going to be a people that we're going to, proverbs and bywords,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
hey, to call ourselves, to call the chosen people of God, the indigenous people of the 12 tribes of Israel, black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hebrew is a language.
Mm-hmm.
Israelite is a culture.
Right.
And that's what Christ was telling us when he said that he was giving us, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He was giving us a way of life that is what? Truth. How we're supposed to live.
Right.
We conduct our lives and how we carry ourselves before God that we may be accepted before him. But go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
All right, let's see. Yeah, you can keep on reading there, bro.
Verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Right. Shoot in secret at the perfect. All right. And precept for this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. It gives you another perspective on their mindset. Not just to shoot at the perfect, but why are they shooting at the perfect? And you can start with verse 10.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged.
Right. They said they don't give a damn who you are, how old you are, what kind of respect you have, what things you've done in your community. It doesn't matter with them. All right, go ahead.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
They said, let our strength, what we can do and get away with, that is justice. And it's the law. That's why we call them the law. Go ahead.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
They said, if you cannot benefit us, we don't want you around us. If we have to take care of you, we think you're dead weight. Period. Even their own people, old and young.
Yeah, see, that's why Elon and Trump, they're trying to cut the government benefits.
That's it. And they're trying to do away with Social Security also.
Yeah.
Been trying to do that.
Yeah.
All right. And then verse 12. This is why they want to shoot the arrows at the perfect. And also precepts with Ezekiel 35 and 5. But go ahead.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Because he is not for our turn. We don't like it when they rule over us. And we're not for their turn. We don't want them in no kind of leadership, in no kind of position of power, or much less a seat of authority. So no, we're not going to be patriots for Americans and America, because this place hates the Most High God of this Bible. And if you follow after the Most High God of this Bible, you cannot like America. if you know the truth about it. Those two things cannot exist. All right, go ahead.
Therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings.
Contrary to our bitter words, we shoot at him in secret. And all the laws they lay in mischief, and the wicked traps that they set, were still clean contrary to their doings. If we do what? We commit our ways to the Lord. Proverbs 16:3. All right.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law.
We constantly read to them where, okay, it's in the news they did this. Well, the Bible says you can't do that, or he's going to do it to you constantly. That's been the story of life living around Babylon the last decade at least. When they do something, here comes Israel to show you in the Bible that was wrong. They are not of God. And they are getting sick of it, and it's going to come to a point where they're going to come to stop it. Period. Completely. Mm-hmm. All right.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy the transgressings of our education.
Right. We tell them how blatantly they taught us this in public school, but we read their books that say the opposite. That they did not give out at school. You have to go find, buy, go through libraries, whatever the case may be. But it's their own words used to show their lies. And once you get to a point of that where you got somebody in a corner who knows they're in the wrong, only thing left to do is kill you. Go ahead.
Verse 14? No,
Yeah,
verse
13. Yeah.
13.
He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Right, because if you're in this Bible and you study it and you keep these commandments, that is the case. Period. And they know that, and they say that, okay, this is what they say. All right, okay, cool, bet. Now go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
They know that. We don't. That's the only reason why we're in the position we're in now. They know we were made to reprove their thoughts. We don't know we were made to reprove their thoughts. We thought we were made to follow after them. But we're made to rule them.
Correct them and rule. That's right.
All right, you can go ahead.
He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Right. They hate even looking at us. It's going to come to a point where they say, well, we ain't going to keep looking at them and listening to them. Or that Bible. Go ahead.
For his life is not like other men's.
Right. We don't follow the trends. We don't just let them tell us how we should think and act and speak and dress and what to celebrate, where to go, where to be, or not to go, where not to be. Go ahead.
His ways are of another fashion.
Right. They don't get it. Why? They don't study the scripts, much less keep it to understand it. So they don't understand it. They don't get it. And it's going to come to a point, and this is anytime you're dealing with somebody who's not that very intelligent, when it comes to a point to where they just can't get it, they got to get away from it or get it away from them.
You know, and the thing about it too is that in verse 15, what Brother Ezekiel just got finished reading, his ways are of another fashion. A lot of us, we always take fashion as being clothing, garments, things like that of that nature. But fashions are the ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's don't get me wrong. It is the clothing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's
talking about the way we live.
Yeah, the way of how we live. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, according to envy not your oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Things
Choose
like that,
and
choose none of his ways. And so then that can be where his fashions are anything that we practice that goes against the commandments of God.
Right. That's it.
And he's telling us not to do that.
Right.
And if I can, I'll take it even a step further. Those who promote their fashion, their clothing, are really promoting their ways.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I
don't know if y'all seen Dwayne Wade with his man purses out here.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he's doing. And
Yeah.
shirts and all
He's
this
far
kind of
from the
stuff.
first. But that's what they've
you know what?
been
And the
doing.
thing about it is that I got a man bag. You know what I'm saying? But purses are in the Bible where that Jesus was telling the disciples. You know what I'm saying? And put nothing in your purse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, they
Like
cut it.
essential,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And that, hey, but now it takes on a different meaning now because it's,
things have they've changed times and laws and things.
Exactly, exactly. So hey, but man,
they definitely did have corn
I'm
first.
more man than any man, and I still got my, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Got your bag.
But I mean, man. But I mean, so that's the thing about these fashioning ways in which we're carrying on and we're pursuing through our enemies of those that, saying, as Brother Gad is teaching very good on, man, is the fact that, hey, we can't be in them ways, man, them fashions in them ways.
All right. But like you said, it starts with the clothes, and it goes all the way through.
Oh, yeah, it goes across the whole board.
Right.
Yep.
All right, verse 16.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
Right. Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9. That's where that comes from. We can read it if you want to.
At least one.
Yeah, 2:9. But 3:9 just confirms it.
Yeah.
I'm going to make everybody to know it.
Book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Yes, sir.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty.
Right.
But thou art rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking to the real Jews. Our works, tribulation, the things that we go through here, the way that we've always worked ever since Adam, and then we're still poor, regardless. Going back to Haggai 1:6, but Christ is acknowledging that.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Right. All right, so he said he knows the blasphemy, that's to speak anything that's the opposite or to lie on God. All right, of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. That is the vessel for the devil.
Right.
All right, and so that's out of Christ's own mouth right there, and they've heard us read that for years now. So yes, this is going to be at the forefront of their mind after they get done saying they don't even like looking at us. They say we're fakes. I mean, they are, but their pride has got them so haughty. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I tell you. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
All right, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 16.
Yeah.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
Right, because that way is filthy, and to make us unclean with our God. All right.
He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed,
Because it is.
and make his boast that God is his father.
Right, because he is. Straight up. And that's in, what is it, 1 John chapter 2?
1 John 3, sons of God.
Yeah.
You want me to get that?
Yeah, if you want to.
1 John 3 and verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God.
Right.
Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not.
Right. But killed him. All right. And you can read down to 21.
All right. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
Right. This is going to come to this point, all right? And this is what they're doing, like we was reading in Psalm 64 a while ago, how they wait on us to catch us up in our words and to shoot bitter words at us secretly. All right, these are all the mischievous plots and plans that stem from Psalms 83, verse 4, trying to wipe out the name of Israel from remembrance. That's why they put all these false labels on us to begin with. Proverbs and bywords, as Brother Mac brought out. Let's see. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. He's going to get to that point where it's, okay, let's see. Let's put it to the test. If what all you've been saying for all these years is real. All right?
Verse 18. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies.
Right. Which he will.
Verse 19. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Right. That we may know his meekness and how humble you are, and knowing that that's part of winning this battle we call life. All right, that's the end. That's the final boss right there. Whenever you gotta take your death like Christ did. You gotta drink of that cup.
That's it.
And he's gonna see if you're gonna be meek enough to do it and humble down enough to do it, knowing this is how I got to get out of this body to get my next. So come on with it, or whether you're gonna fold under. All right. Now, also, that goes into his patience. How much are you willing to be long suffering for the Lord? How he's long suffered for you all these years. All right.
Verse 20. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected.
Right. So that's what they say. This is the only way we can beat them. This is the only kind of victory we can have from Edom versus Israel. Is to kill their flesh body before the Lord gets down here. So they're going to take that. And they're going to take every one that they can. Every little victory they can by killing every little Israelite they can. Until they come back down here. And go get them.
Such things they did imagine and were deceived.
And we're what?
Deceived.
Alright.
For their own wickedness hath blinded them.
There you go. That's why they have the audacity to even say we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. Like they ain't counterfeits. It's not us making it up. It's they're lying. They ain't who they say they are. But by their own wickedness, thinking they're God for all these years, blinded them. And they can't even see that they set up their own demise. They sold their enemies the weapons that will destroy them. Oh, what a beautiful thing that is.
Yeah, so the crazy thing is, like, they know that they're counterfeits.
Yes.
They know that they're fake converts.
That's what I'm saying.
But they still think they can get away with it.
Right.
Yeah,
And like God's like them.
Yeah, that's the pride.
Right.
That's their pride.
That is. And you read all about it in Sirach 10. About the pride and how one falls into such a thing. Alright. Now we can go to Malachi 1 and 4. That was to touch on the secret counsel or insurrection of the workers of iniquity in Psalm 64. But also you can read, before we get that, in Malachi 1 and 4, 2nd Esdras 16. You can start at 68 and get to the point.
Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you.
Right.
And they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols.
And yeah, that's in the process. That's those who go with them and fold that we just read about in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. The ones that get put under the pressure and they don't become a diamond. They become a lackey. And then that's whenever they say, okay, we'll let you not benefit us and follow along. But you got to do this, do that, eat that. And some Israelites are going to do that thing. And, you know, Lord's will, you won't be one of them. You can go ahead.
Verse 69.
Mm-hmm.
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision,
Right.
and in reproach, and trodden under foot.
Though hand join in hand, none shall go unpunished. So that's anybody who, like Ezekiel said a while ago, who support that fashion. You support their ways.
That's right.
Whether that's ignorantly or objectively. And that's why it says, be ye not ignorant in any matter small or great in Sirach. Or Ecclesiasticus. But you can go ahead, bro.
For there shall be in every place, and in the next cities, a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Right, that we read about starting in Psalm 64. Finished talking about in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. And now putting the ending on it right here in 2nd Esdras. Alright, go ahead.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none,
Right.
but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Right, like they just said, let us try his words and see what be in the end of him. Let us see if his words be true. So I said, as a madman, spoiling none. It said they don't care about the old and the feeble. They found to be nothing worth. the old and young, the feeble, anybody that needs to be taken care of. The ones that the Lord says, lay up your treasure with me by taking care of. That's the ones that they want to kill first. All right, go ahead.
I'll read 71 again.
Yeah.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Right.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
Right. When they say they're not for our turn, they say then get out. You got to go. If you're not for us and on our side, then we don't want you around.
Yeah.
And they ain't going to let you just abound and not be on their team. You're going to have to be on the run.
Yeah, people think these deportations are gonna stop.
Right.
Right.
Like
Crazy.
they're only gonna do so much. Like what they first came out saying, oh, we're only gonna deport the criminals. Yeah, okay.
Right.
They're taking normal everyday people.
Exactly. That ain't got nothing to do with it's just this certain section of the Northern Kingdom, this certain couple different peoples. No, it's anybody that they say, you're gone. You're gone. You could have been born here and lived here your whole life. You could be a citizen or think you are. And your whole life you've always been able to claim American citizenship. But the minute that government wants you out, you're out.
They're gonna expand that.
Yes.
Because like I've seen an article, I bring this up to people, an article of where it said that Venezuelans, they were deporting Venezuelans, sending them to El Salvador. They don't even care.
Right.
Venezuelans are supposed to be people who have what's it called? Seeking asylum in this country.
Yep.
Because Venezuela is so messed up.
Yeah.
Trump granted them that asylum.
Right after we went, or America went down there and screwed up Venezuela so bad, they said, okay, y'all got asylum here in America.
Yeah, so Trump in his first term said, y'all got asylum. And guess what? In his second term, he come back, hey, ship y'all off to El Salvadorian prisons.
He said, I lied.
Exactly.
Because that's what they do.
So they're just going to expand that. When it said they shall cast them out of their houses.
Like we read in Wisdom of Solomon 2, let our strength be the law. But we're able to do and get away with. Mm-hmm. That's law.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
Right. It's going to be known. Why? Because the world, when the Lord said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world, are literally coming to get you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to know. Nobody's going to be able to deny. Well, they must serve about like if you watch somebody, or let's just say this may be a bad example, but rappers that talk about shooting and killing. If they don't get shot and killed, chances are they were lying. If they're still alive talking about shooting and killing, they probably ain't shooting and killing. The real ones that were really shooting and killing, they reap what they sowed. And the Lord killed them.
Like Ovan.
And Mo 3. And a bunch of other ones that was actually real and living what they were rapping about, and got judged for it.
What are you talking about? Like King Von? Yeah, man. Hey.
Yep, who were actually doing what they rapped about.
Oh yeah. And
they lived by the sword and died by it.
Now you got some that they, if they done it, they just haven't been caught. But that's very slim.
Right. But especially now, the way they're locking up rappers now.
Right. Now they do now. They take other people's lives.
Yep.
And they act upon them and like they take them as like they were the one that were living it. Right. Like they were saying, like
exactly.
Yo Gotti was doing for his brother.
Yep.
Yo Gotti didn't never live that life.
Rick Ross.
He literally stole the man's identity.
Yeah.
Yo Gotti didn't. He ain't never lived that life. But his brother Big Juke.
Right. He was really
lived that life now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But but Gotti, you know what I'm saying? But he so in other words, he embellished.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And made it to be his life to where that.
Right.
I mean, man, but they got Gotti now. They obtaining him because for the death of what's my
Young
boy
Dog.
name? Yeah, Young Dog.
The Big Juke put 100,000 on his head.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, man.
And then what happened to Big Juke?
Yeah.
He got killed.
Yeah, he got killed.
That's how you know. Chances are he's the one who paid and had Young Dog killed. Yeah. The Lord judged him, and now he's dead.
So I mean, so all y'all that say, hey, only God can judge me.
Right.
You see now.
Keep saying that.
Hey, Tupac, he said it best. Only God can judge me.
And he was dead before 27.
And he got killed. So hey, so. But go ahead, brother. Like you were saying.
I'll read 73 again.
Yeah.
Then shall they be known who are my chosen,
Right.
and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Right. And then I'll get this real quick in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 5, talking about the gold in the fire.
You mean Sirach?
Yeah. Sirach 2 and 5. Alright. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Alright, believe in him and he will help thee, order thy way aright, and trust in him. Alright?
Verse 74.
Yes, sir.
Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand,
Dang.
but I will deliver you from the same.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Okay.
ye not afraid, neither doubt, for God is your guide.
Right. He said, don't be afraid or doubt me. What I say time and time again, I will deliver you.
That's right.
I will save you from the hand of the workers of iniquity and from the hand of all them that hate you. Alright, so if we really believe, we got to know that thing and be bold in that thing.
That's it.
Alright.
And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Right. Don't give in to them thoughts. Because until you completely overcome something to where it don't even cross your mind anymore, that takes years and years and years and years. So it's going to be a battle going on for some years. You just can't let them lift themselves up. Alright.
Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins.
Who can't stop. Woe be unto them who can't even try to stop. Alright.
And covered with their iniquities. Like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
Right. If you got a big field that's covered in all kind of bushels and thorns and everything, and you can't even walk through it, that's a mess that needs to be cleaned up. And it's going to tell you how it's going to be cleaned up in the next one.
It is left undressed, and is cast into the fire, to be consumed therewith.
Right. That's the only way you clean a field like that, is you got to burn what's on it to restart it. And that's what the Lord's saying right here. If you're somebody who hasn't took the time to make sure you're not that field that there's no fruit whatsoever coming from, by the time he gets down here, then you're going to be thrown in right with your enemies. With the ones that killed and oppressed, lied, robbed, all the wickedness of the wicked. And unless you're one of them, I would not want to receive the same reward as one of them. Unless I was a demon and devil, I would not want the reward of a demon and devil.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time, is that, we got to make sure we're on, what people say, the right side of history.
Right.
That when Christ comes back and judges the world, we're not killed with the wicked just
Right.
because we didn't want to overcome some sins that we had.
Right.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Straight up. All right, now Malachi 1 and 4. All right, so we got that to know what it's going to get to. Right now, you got Trump and the American government making enemies out of everyone in the world. All right, whenever that's reached a boiling point, or at a point where the Most High wants it, then when they have nobody else to turn enemies on, they turn to the Americans, aka the Israelites living here under them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I said, Canada just put out a reverse tariff that started the 25th for cast iron products and certain different products. That's been a skyrocket here in America.
Yeah.
And it's over $30 billion in tariffs towards America alone.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's just Canada. That's not all these other countries that putting tariffs on them, because that's how Trump's doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So even Canada and Mexico, they got troops in Greenland. J.D. Vance was just over there talking to him yesterday.
Yeah, I seen that.
I seen they suggested a clip for me to watch. I just read the headline.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff is it's rapidly advancing, and the time is short, as the scripts say over and over and over.
That's right.
That's it.
All right, Malachi 1 and 4.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Right.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Forever. All right, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, and we are impoverished. All right, that's going into the what they call the Dark Ages. All right, when they wasn't ruling and Israel was ruling all over the world, but we wasn't in righteousness. All right, we will return and build the desolate places. That's called the Renaissance, aka the rebirth, the restoring of Rome that was dead, but brought back to life. All right, they shall build, but I will throw down. All right, have you ever heard that before? That's a key word right there. What type of man the Lord is. Somebody's gonna throw down. It's only certain men talk like that. All right.
Hey, you know, and just to show you the wickedness of this man of Edom, and how, you know, how advanced he is, and you know he had to get his strength and his power from some other source besides the Most High,
Right.
because it said that we are impoverished, but we will return. So you know that, you know, hey, you know, it was one time he was in rulership,
Right.
but he failed, and then it says, and build the desolate places. The desolate places. Think about it. You got a man that turned around and built a whole city out the desert,
Right.
what you call Las Vegas right now. That's the desolate places. And I noticed like how, you know, the Edomite nations here in Mississippi, I know a subdivision right off the highway. They took a desolate land. It was nothing but woods and forests and trees and everything. I'm talking about, and deep off in there. You know, they knocked all that out, and they left all the trees going all the way around the properties.
That's what we
So
just
they can't
seen
see
down here,
nothing.
on our way here.
You can't see nothing, but you would never thought when you go to the end of this highway, and it got a turn right here that goes to the left, you finna go into an actual subdivision. Beautiful.
Right. I was about to
Beautiful,
say,
bro. I'm talking about,
fatness.
man, what? The doctors, the lawyers,
Right.
everybody. It's called Hidden Valley.
That's it.
And man, hey, and I'm talking about, man, hey, my cousin Harry Green, he had he built a house over there, a 3-story house with the elevator in it.
Dang.
Yeah, with the elevator in it. I'm talking about, man. So this just goes to show, before even Harry or anybody, any of our people even moved in them,
Right.
you know, hey, you know, white man, you know, Esau, he, you know,
Hidden Valley.
he came up with, you know, the desolate places.
Right.
Like, man, hey, I'm gonna get away from these people. I want to,
Right.
you know. But it seemed like no matter where they go, we want to assimilate ourselves
That's what I was
with
going to say. We follow.
to
so
try
they
to show
lead.
ourselves like we the same as they are.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Right.
See, that's what happened with the creation of the suburbs. Because originally, you know, it was Edomites living in the cities until it was Jake moving
Yep.
in,
Uh-huh.
so-called Black and Latino people moving
Yep.
in and moving into the inner cities. And then so that's when Esau was like, okay, we're leaving.
Right.
We're making the suburbs. Right? We gotta get out of here. We ain't trying to be around all these Israelites.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. So, you know, so this just goes to show Malachi 1 and 4, where he talk about the desolate places, things like that, man. They build not, I would throw down. You know,
Right.
I mean, you know, this man is
And this is going to be his mindset coming out of them 1,000 years. too.
exactly. Exactly. Go ahead, little brother. Go ahead, little brother.
Let's see. I shall see and you shall say. You can read 5 too, bro.
And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel.
Right, which is the case now. You ain't learning about the truth of this Bible from anyone else than Israelites, and claiming to be Israelites, knowing they're Israelites coming from Jacob. That's the only ones who's bringing the true understanding of the Lord out, and has been for 1,000 years.
That's it.
So it is what it is. All right, let's see. All right. Did we read 64 and 5? Psalm 64 and 5.
Oh, we didn't get all the way through 64.
I got 64 and 5 wrote down.
Book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Right.
They commune of laying snares privily.
Right.
They say, who shall see them?
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. All right. They commune of laying snares or traps privately. They want it to be hid in a secret and you not know who laid that trap. But just know, around the corner, on every corner, is a trap. Everywhere you go around. In this land. Alright. And this is why, verse 6.
They search out iniquities.
Bam. And?
They accomplish a diligent search.
They figured out all the ways that they could separate us from the Lord.
That's right.
That it talks about in Judas 5. Start with verse 17, read through 21. Alright. We must be in the laws and in obedience to the Lord for the Lord to be with us and fight our enemies for us. They knew they had no chance if we were any way still connected with the Lord. So they said, let's figure out how we disconnect them. They figured it out from Judas 5. They said, okay, so let's go back and find all the ways where you break the law, and then let's find all the scenarios we can put them in where they don't have no option but to break the law. All right.
They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Oh, that's verse 5. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Right. It says every one of them. That's why we just read what we read in Malachi 1 and 4. Every one of them. And it says they come out the womb, going astray, speaking lies. That's in
Psalm 58.
Yeah, 58, chapter 58.
And that diligent search, man, is so for a lot of y'all that don't go over your head. This man does a diligent, a hard search. I'm talking about he is so wicked in his heart. I'm talking about anytime a man can turn around and make a microscope, make a telescope so small that it can goes up a ant's rectum to see his internal organs.
You gotta be wicked to even think of some stuff like
You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. I mean, this is a man that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, he sits around and he thinks about this.
Right. 100%.
See how, hey, I wonder how that snail, I didn't even know that, they say that, moths don't have lungs.
Right.
How they know that? He did a diligent search.
Right. And think about that, and all the ways through MK Ultra.
Yeah.
And the way that they were drugging us, doing all kinds of vile, God only knows what all experiments to us.
Yeah.
All right. Not only did they figure this Bible out, but then they said, let's try it. They accomplished. All right. They encouraged themselves in an evil manner. So they said, okay, this is a sin. Get that pig over here. Let's eat some. Let's try it. Let's see what it goes. Okay, we can't kill him. Bring him here. Let's kill him. Let's see how that is. Like they're trying all these things before they have us do them.
Oh yes.
And they use this Bible to conquer this world in wickedness. That's why the Lord's waiting on us to do it in righteousness.
And that will come with the fact that, this man does such a diligent search, but now the word of God is totally different. Now he figured it out. Don't get me wrong.
Right, and
he know, but understand it. But this man did such a diligent search of everything that proceeds out of his mind. But when it comes to the word of God, why did he leave so much in it to show and prove because understand it, that Christ is black. The other nations gonna be slaves, the servants to, you know what I'm saying? All these other nationalities are not of the Israelite, of the blood descents of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So therefore, this just goes to show this man is so wicked in how he even think. And this is from the womb. This is not from,
Right.
Shoot, man, hey, man. And so y'all want to sit up here and think that, okay, we need to do this and we need to do that. We need to march and we need to protest and we need to, and this man is looking at y'all like,
Right.
Why these fools? You know, y'all still ain't got y'all ain't caught on to it yet, have
Right.
you?
Like I said, he's like a deaf adder that stop at the ear.
Just like he said in Isaiah, who gonna bring me down?
Right.
Who gonna bring me down?
That's it. That's that.
And the
talk.
Most High sitting up here telling you that he's gonna have to be the one to do
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
He's, I'm gonna
Not
throw
us. Your protesting, your marching, your, Black Lives Matter and all this other foolishness and garbage and what Dr. King and them did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, they made an effort, but
Right.
it didn't work and it don't work.
down. Right.
The only way anything is gonna work is that we gonna have to go by what the Most High God said to do.
Right.
That's right.
The way God
His
said do
way,
it. Right.
not our way. Y'all need to get out of that foolishness, man, and all that madness for real, cause
Right.
it ain't gonna get our people no damn well. Go ahead, bro, Gad.
All right. You can read on down through right here at 64.
Verse 7. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded.
Right. Like we read in Malachi 1 and 4, he's gonna throw down.
Gonna throw down.
And he's gonna do, he said, he'll shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. All right. That's also talking about Revelation 17, verse 16. All right. The 10 whores that hate the whore shall make her naked and burn her with fire. All right. That's to expose her. All right. Talk about the infamy of the transgressions of their education, like we read in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. All right. To expose the lies, show how wicked they are, like they're doing right now to the entire world. They're just being bullies for no reason. I mean, there is a reason, because the Lord's making them act this way, hardening them, so that he could bring to pass what he said he would.
Just as he did the Pharaoh. He hardened
exactly.
Pharaoh's heart.
That's
That's
it.
right.
And God did the same thing with Esau.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? That he hardened their hearts. And then not just Esau's heart, but hey, the Moabites and Ammonites
Right.
and all
Those
them other
joined to
nations.
him.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's joined to him.
Yeah.
You know, they all submitted themselves to him all the way back to Antiochus and Caesar and all them when they was going through the lands conquering everybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Y'all gonna either submit to us or we gonna kill y'all asses.
Right.
And so, hey.
And that's what it's going to come to again, like we
Yeah.
read in 2nd Ezra.
Exactly,
Say,
exactly.
Y'all are going to bow down to us instead of that God you keep talking about, or we're going to kill you, period.
Yeah. Go right here, bro. Go ahead. Verse 8.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Right. And it don't take very long if you're on YouTube to find some Edomite exposing the Edomites. It's everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, boy.
All that see them shall flee away.
Right. Going to be running from them. Go ahead.
And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of God. For they shall wisely consider of his doing.
Right. When he destroys America in particular, and ain't gonna be nothing else said about nobody else. The all-knowing, omnipotent power is gonna be, his presence is gonna be felt and gonna be acknowledged by anything that's living, period. And it's not gonna be anything but that. And you're gonna know that. Look what he just did to the bully of the world. That's been bullying the world for nearly 1,000 years. All right.
The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and shall trust in him.
That's it.
And all the upright in heart shall glory.
That's right. Like I said, put on righteousness as a robe.
And that's to our people, the Israelites. That's us that, the law, statutes, and commandments,
That's it.
the righteous. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Deuteronomy 6:25 tells us that, and so then that, hey, and the thing about it is that, it just keep going back to my mind that, Psalm 64, where he said that he search out iniquities,
Yes, sir.
and accomplishes a
diligent
diligent search.
That's right.
Man, iniquity is sin.
Right.
This man don't think with righteousness.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. We'll get that in her back.
How can y'all sit up here and tell me to think that you are going to defeat this man? You can't defeat nobody that diligently searches out
Right. Sin.
sin.
Right. Who are glad to be the adversary of the Most
What?
High.
Yet
It don't get no more devil than that, bro. That's
you
the
cannot
definition.
beat this man. It's gonna have to take God.
Right.
It's gonna have to take the Most High.
Right. That war they always talk about.
Yeah.
That ain't happened yet.
That ain't happened yet. So y'all, hey man, our people, Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, the indigenous people of the 12 tribes, regardless. Come back to what we're supposed to be doing. Back to the laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's it.
He said he gonna fight our battles for us. But you want to try to go against this man? Man, are y'all crazy?
Yep.
The Panthers couldn't do it. Dr. King and them couldn't do it. The Southern Leadership League couldn't do it. All them. You know what I'm saying? All these, they couldn't do it.
Right. Over and over and over and over again, it's been tried.
Yeah.
Except with righteousness.
Yeah. Go ahead. You had something to read on that, brother?
Yeah, I was going to read Habakkuk 2, verse 4.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Habakkuk 2 and verse 4.
Read.
Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
Right, like you said, man. You don't
Hey.
think with righteousness, or with wickedness. They search out iniquities to see how all the ways they could be against the Most High and his people. All right, his spirit's not made upright in him. He's made to be the way that he is for a reason.
Right.
And that ultimately is to, for one, like it says in Judges 2, they're made to, let's just get that. What the other nations left around are for. But also for the Most High to show his power through him. To demonstrate the demonstration of demonstrations.
It said Judges 2
Yes, sir, I think so.
and verse 1.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think it's 3, which is
Yeah, it is 3. It is 3. My bad.
Judges 3 and verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
Right, to prove Israel by them. All right. And verse 28 of the last one talks also. Verse 22 and 23 of chapter 2.
Okay, so you want to jump over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it spells it out a little later.
Judges chapter 2 and verse 22. That through them I might prove Israel, whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein as their fathers did keep it or not.
Right. Now, whether we're going to keep these laws or not. That's why these other people are around not keeping these laws. They wasn't gifted them for one, but for two, the Most High is trying us by that. Or he's just seeing.
Right.
He ain't doing it. He's just having it around to see how we're going to react.
That's right.
Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua.
Right. Because that's what he commanded. We didn't listen, though. So the Lord said, okay, bet. Since that was y'all's move y'all want to go with, bet. This is the move I'm going with. And they're going to be around until I decide they ain't. I told y'all what to do with them and how to deal with them, but we didn't want to listen. So now, he's kept them around up until to this day. Still here. Still getting up over us. Go ahead.
Verse chapter 3.
Yeah, you can read verse 2. Alright, because one's saying you read all of it, but that little part right there.
No, I didn't read all of 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war.
Right.
At the least such as before knew nothing thereof.
Right. And also to teach them war. Alright. And yeah, verse 4 says the same thing as verse 22 and 2. They were to prove Israel by them to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. All right, that's it. That's why I kept them around.
That's it.
All right. Psalms 10 and 11. All right, still dealing with this prideful man that rules right now.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 11. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten.
Right.
He hideth his face, he will never see it.
All right. He said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He forgot all the stuff I've done. That's why I'm still around, ruling, and still oppressing his people. That's what they're saying right now, today. All right. All right, you can go ahead and let's see.
Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thy hand, forget not the humble.
Right. Damn God. The man of the earth made him more oppressed. Well, yeah, we I only got like a couple more verses, so. All right, read 14.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10 and verse 14. Thou hast seen it, for thou behold mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand.
Right.
The poor committeth himself unto thee, thou art the helper of the fatherless.
Right. Straight up. All right. So it's saying, Most High seen all that they've done, for thou beholdest mischief. And it says they frame laws by mischief. That's Psalms 94, verse 20. All right. And like we read in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, let justice be the strength of, let our strength be the law of justice. Okay, the Lord's seen it all, and He's got it all at the forefront of His mind. And the spite that they move in, that talks about in Ezekiel 35 and 36. To requite it with thy hand. He's going to require a recompense for everything they've done. Even though they lie to themselves, deceive themselves by their own wickedness, and say He's forgotten. Alright. Let's see, in Isaiah 10, verse 15, also goes into what He's got them around for.
Alright, the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 15. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith?
Right, there's an axe. Tell the person who's swinging the axe, you ain't nothing, you forgot how to cut a tree, that was me that cut that tree, and all this other crap. No, not every one time.
Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it?
Right. Is the saw saying I cut that and not you, the person who just used the saw to cut it? It's not how it works.
Yeah.
As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood.
Right.
Right.
And the Lord's saying, y'all forgotten who y'all are and what y'all are made for.
It take both of them. You know, the saw couldn't cut the wood without a man operating it.
Straight up.
You know.
Right.
I mean, hey, you know, if Moses could not have lifted up the rod, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
Right,
it
the
could
Red
not
Sea.
split the sea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it could not turn into a serpent. It
Right.
just, you know. So I mean, you know, hey.
But see, that's the difference in Israel and Edom. See, Israel, we know that the strength is in the
Right,
numbers
right.
and in the team. Edom is the most selfish creature created.
Man, what?
So he doesn't see the value in a team. He sees the ones that's not being able to contribute as a feeble and needing to be done away with.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Verse 16.
Yeah, verse 16.
Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire.
Right. And that's what's been spewing here in America since the turn of the millennium. With actual Israel waking up. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame.
All right.
And it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day.
In one day. All right, like we just read about in 2nd Ezra 16. Talking about that field. And it's saying that's what's going to happen here. All right. It's going to be burnt up in one day. All right, you can read verse 18 and 19.
And shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body.
Right. All right. And that's everybody joined unto him. That's the 2/3 of Israel who don't commit their ways into the Lord. All right. Who's going to have to be punished. Like Christ said, what is it to a man if he gain the whole world but lose his own soul? All right.
And they shall be as when a standard bearer fainteth.
Right. Ain't gonna be nobody else holding up that American flag and having it waving, or putting it on the moon, quote unquote.
And the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, that a child may write them.
Right. That means those left of them will be able to be written down by the child. Why? Because that's the servants. The child's going to know his servants. You'll be able to write their names down because it's not going to be just a ton of them. All right. And Wisdom of Solomon 18:7. We started off talking about money and things and our resources. And Wisdom of Solomon 18:7 tells you how to use them and what not to use them for.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, the Apocrypha, chapter 18 and verse 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies.
Right, and knowing you cannot have one without the other. For all those who want to join hand in hand, that's why I said none shall go unpunished. Edom is getting their reward, their recompense, their punishment. And anybody that's even in their vicinity or for their turn, let's use biblical words here, is going to receive of the same. Alright, the only way the salvation of the righteous can come is through the destruction of the enemies. And you have to be saved from something or someone to call yourself saved. For you Christians out there, you can't tell nobody what you've been saved from. You can't say, I've been saved from going to hell. You ain't died. You don't know what's going to happen. So, that's foolishness. Alright.
For wherewith thou did punish our adversaries, by the same thou did glorify us whom thou hast called.
Right. And you can read 9 and 10 also.
For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, and with one consent made a holy law, that the saints should be alike partakers of the same good and evil, the fathers now singing out the songs of praise.
Right, that's it. Alright. For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly. Why? We're not supposed to, for one, we're never supposed to boast ourselves and brag. For two, the things that you do should be done as far as contributing. The things that you give should be done in secret, so that you're not getting any kind of vain glory, and it's not corrupting you in any sort of way. Alright, that's what that's talking about. They did sacrifice secretly. They didn't let it be known everything that they put in the pot or give to be sacrificed. Alright. And with one consent made a holy law, that the saints should be alike partakers of the same good and evil. The Father's now singing out the songs of praise. Alright, meaning we're all as one. All of us minister one to another, and we're ministered to by each other. Alright. And verse 10.
But on the other side there sounded an ill-according cry of the enemies, and a lamentable noise was carried abroad for children that were bewailed.
Alright. Let's see. I got 1 Thessalonians chapter 3. We'll end it with Matthew 26. I just read this a while ago before leaving the house. Add on here too.
First Thessalonians 3 and what?
Start with 7 and read through 13.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 3 and verse 7. Therefore, brethren, we were comforted over you in all our affliction and distress by your faith, for now we live if ye stand fast in the Lord.
Right, now we live if ye stand fast in the Lord. And therefore, brethren, we were comforted over you in all our affliction and distress by your faith. Alright? So, whenever we're going through the things that we've been reading about today, alright? And verse 3 says that no man should be moved by these afflictions. For yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. We just read these things have to happen. So by the time they do come to pass, we have to have our minds set like they do in Second Maccabees chapter 7 with the woman and her 7 sons that face that torturous punishment. Alright? And endure it. Alright, go ahead.
For what thanks can we render to God again for you, for all the joy wherewith we joy for your sakes before our God, night and day praying exceedingly that we might see your face and might perfect that which is lacking in your faith.
Right. Like, he's talking about getting everybody together that's of the faith that's trying to keep the laws and things, and hearing about what's going on with them over here and everything, he's saying he can't wait till we're all together. All right.
Now God himself and our Father and our Lord Jesus Christ direct our way unto you.
Right. He's saying, Lord's will, we keep doing what Christ told us to do, we will see you. And that is the case. All right.
And the Lord make you to increase and abound in love one toward another and toward all men, even as we do towards you.
Right. So even as much as it was wrote right here, who wrote this in Thessalonians?
Paul.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. As Paul is saying, as much as I love y'all that's in the truth and everything that y'all been doing and going through, that's how we got to be towards one another first and foremost, but towards all men, even so as we do towards you. We ain't supposed to want to see nothing bad happen to nobody. All right, some of us have earned and deserved it, but judged none worthy before his death. All right.
To the end he may establish your hearts unblameable in holiness before God, even our Father, at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ with all his saints.
All right, that's the point. I know we've always heard, be the bigger person. They did wrong to you, you do right to them.
That's it.
That's what makes you blameless. For you to truly love the enemies and know why they're here. And love the game. Love the game.
That's it.
All right, and now we can get Matthew 26. That's how we got to be to perform acceptable faithfulness.
That we definitely have to love our enemies. You know, he said that pray for them that despitefully mistreat you and persecute you. You know, he said do good unto them that do evil unto you.
That's it. Because we all do good unto our friends.
That's it. That's it.
Matthew 26, starting with verse 6.
Yes, sir.
Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
That's right.
That's it.
The way that she came in there and give him a final extra anointing, preparing him.
That's it.
And he said, mention her. Everywhere y'all talk about this good news.
That's right.
So we hope and pray that brothers and sisters online, brothers and sisters in the congregation, we pray that y'all got something out of this. Brother Gad, you did a real good job.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, and I tell you, man, hey, it's just one of them things, man, that, we're preparing, y'all. We're preparing for the last days. They up on us. We in it.
Right, we in it.
We in it deep now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hey, I tell y'all, man, it's just one of them things where that we gotta watch as well as pray.
That's it.
For the coming of the Lord, that hey, He's coming back. Christ is on His way.
Right.
And so, just trying to get everybody, all our people together, and those of the diaspora, those of our people, man, that are Israelites, that hey, and it's not about color, hey. So we just want y'all to be encouraged. Y'all stay encouraged and enjoy y'all Sabbaths.
Hey,
enjoy your Sabbaths, man. Hey,
Keep it holy.
Feast of Unleavened Bread.
That's right.
And like I said, hey, I'm Prince Malachi Ben Israel, Restoring the Village Ministries, along with our brother Ezekiel John Daniel Israel, with a Peculiar Treasure Ministries.
I'm Brother Gad Israel. Shalom. Happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, y'all.
And happy Passover.
Yeah.